Hi everyone, welcome to this session, Competence Based Curriculum. My name is Miriam, I'm an educator, and I just want to shed some light on the competence based curriculum that Kenya has adopted, so commonly known as the CBC system. Now, Kenya as a country has shifted from the 844 system to the 2663 system, and the role of the teacher and the parent is very critical. And therefore, Kenya has adopted the competence based curriculum (CBC), which seeks to produce globally competitive citizens. The curriculum will emphasize more on practical skills and learning, unlike the 844 system that was emphasizing more on acquisition of knowledge. Uh, the CBC curriculum further emphasizes more on acquisition and use of the practical skills, the core competences, the core values in education, the attitude, and then learning, which is also part of knowledge. The vision of the new curriculum is to develop an engaged, empowered, and ethical citizen. And therefore, teachers should be very strategic and intentional in this. Then the mission is to nurture every learner's potential. And therefore, at this time, I'm calling upon all the parents and all the teachers to make sure that they look out for the potential or where the learner is doing best and nurture that potential to the fullest. The following are the core competencies. We have got communication and collaboration, which is very important. We're also talking about critical thinking and problem solving. Then we have imagination and creativity as the children are doing the skills or doing any projects. Then we have got citizenship. We want the learners to be better citizens. And then digital literacy acquisition, which has been heavily adopted. And in all the learning areas, the learners are supposed to use digital skills. Then we have self-efficacy. They should be able to express themselves and learning to learn either from the environment or where they are. Even in class, there's a lot to learn from each other. Then the values that have been adopted, there are many, but I'll just talk about a few. Responsibility, and responsibility is usually my best because if a child is responsible, they will respect others, they will be excellent, they will care for others, they will be compassionate, they will be understanding, they will be tolerant, they will be honest, they will be trustworthy, they will be timekeepers. So it is very important that we allow the children to be responsible, even at the lowest level. Let them take care of their pens, let them take care of their pencils, their rubbers, let them take responsibility over their takeaways, their classwork, and so on and so on. Now, the organization of basic education in CBC is 2663, which can be broken down into 2 years in early years, PP1 and PP2, then 3 years again in early years, that is grade 1 up to grade 3, then early middle years in grade 4 to 6, and then grade 7 to 9, and then 3 years in senior secondary school, and then 3 years in college or at the university level. So this is the breakdown. You can see that the children are starting learning formal learning in PP1 when they are 4 years. And then by the time they are in grade 3, they should be 8 years. That is the end of early years. And then they sit for a national assessment in grade 3, which will be controlled by the teachers in the school. Then by the time they get into grade 4, 5, and 6, again they continue sitting for classroom assessment. At the same time, they sit for national assessments, which will be controlled at school level. But then at grade 6, they will sit for KIPSEA, which will be controlled by the council, the Kenya National Examination Council. Then they head to grade 7, which is part of the middle school, grade 8 and grade 9. Again, they will do continuous assessments by the classroom assessment by the teacher and assessment by the Kenya National Examination Council. However, we are hoping that in grade 9, we'll have a controlled assessment by the Kenya National Examination Council. Then they head to grade 10, 11, and 12, where they will have the other pathways. We will discuss this in another forum. Then we have got the pathway for special needs, which is very good. We're encouraging parents not to keep children at home. Please let them come. There is stage-based learning which is very rich, and the children can as well go for assessment so that there is placement and teachers are advised and they can as well adopt individualized learning, that is IEP. School-based assessment, the national assessments will be from grade 3 up to grade 12, but in grade 6, grade 9, and 12, it will be controlled by the Kenya National Examination Council. Then we go to the assessment framework. In line with CBC, the Kenya National Examination Council has developed a competence-based assessment framework which outlines ways of assessing learners' acquisition of the targeted competencies. This will create opportunities for learners and teachers to use assessment for improving learning rather than simply labeling learners in terms of final achievement. This is very encouraging. Classroom assessment will be done by the teacher as learning is taking place. The teachers will use the provided assessment books to to be able to see where the learners are, and they will use a scoring rubric. Now, here is the rubric that has been adopted: exceeding expectation, whereby you can write, can be itemized as 4, meeting expectation 3, approaching expectation 2, and below expectation 1. The children's work, there must be evidence of learning, and this will be evident through the work samples that the children will carry out. Therefore, it is very important that we have collaboration between the teachers, the parents, and the children as they do this work. I'm discouraging parents from doing the assessments for the learners. Let the children carry out the assessments. The only thing you can do as a parent when they are doing also the projects is to facilitate. However, you can come in where need be, but make sure you're not doing the work for the child. Let do it together with the child, but allow the child to do most of the work. We have got different types of assessment. We have formative assessment and summative assessment. The formative assessment goes on as learning is taking place when the children are doing the projects. That is assessment for learning and assessment as learning. Then we have got summative assessment, which comes at the end. It is assessment of what the learners have learned. So I would encourage that we continue to support the children as parents, as teachers, we work together. And therefore, at the end of this, we shall have learners. The assessments will help the children to have continuous improvement. So the assessments are not for competitive, they're not for competitive objective. The objective is not competition, but it is to help the learners to continue to improve. We will have another session whereby we will look at more on CBC, and I'm very happy that you joined us. Thank you very much. If you need to ask me any questions, you can write the comments or you can call me or text me on that number. Thank you very much. See you.